If you're out there on the road driving a truck, then you should consider doing this. Okay. So what I'm talking about here is finding ways to create income or replace your income if something happens to your job. Because like it or not, most truckers, that's all they have is a CDL license. If something was to happen to your truck driving job and you couldn't do it anymore for whatever reason, nobody wants to hear this, but it can happen. It happens to people. But if something was to happen like that, what would you do? You know? So that's why I'm saying if you're out there on the road, you're making good money, try to get your credit straightened out. And if it's already straightened out, well, you're several steps ahead of most people out there doing it. And some situations don't even require credit. So what I'm suggesting here is take some words of wisdom, if there are any, from an old school trucker who wishes that he'd done this himself. Okay, so basically, if you're out there driving a truck and you got that money coming in, okay, then you have the ability to start doing something that will generate you income while you're not on the road. I'm talking about get you something that either you can operate or you can rent it out to other people. I'm talking about like a stump grinder, a ditch witch, dump trailer, maybe a dually and a car hauler. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Forestry mulchers. Okay? There's so much stuff out there that you can get, and you can either use it yourself and make a lot of money from it, or just rent the stuff out to other people. If you plan to stay on the road, more power to you. But if you have a piece of equipment like that, and I know people that rent out camping trailers. I don't know anything about that really. I know some people claim they're doing really good with it, but I also know some college kids, because these college kids get paid for going to school every semester. Like for example, like Andrew Jackson's talking about, he qualified for a $7,300 grant. Well, pretty much everybody qualifies for that. And let's say the school you're going to is some community college. It only costs $3,000, and maybe less than that. Then you get whatever's left over. They cut you a check. Okay, well, I know college kids, man, that have bought. I know more than one that has two or more trailers. I'm talking about car hauling trailers, equipment trailers, stuff like that they rent out. They rent them out for $100 or more a day, and that's to help make themselves a living while they're in school. So they don't have to work. And there's the other stuff. You can get a carpet extractor, rent that thing out. If something happens to your job, you can come home and start using it, doing carpet cleaning or something. There's all kinds of stuff, man. I just wish that more people would think like that, because I run into people all the time that have lost their CDL. Guys, when I was doing rideshare, I was picking up people who were coming from dialysis centers. They're former truck drivers that lost their medical card because when they went to take a drug test, they peed freaking protein and it got so bad, their health got bad, and they pulled their medical card. Those guys can't drive anymore, man. They're on dialysis now. And dialysis is freaking expensive. So that's another reason why you need health insurance for sure. I mean, if they pull your medical card and you got to start going for dialysis, dude, you do not want to be paying that freaking bill. You definitely want insurance paying that. Okay. Gosh, but aside from that, I mean, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that you can be doing, that you can come up with that'll make you extra money, man, or make you a living if you have to come out of the truck. You know, there's all kinds of things, man. I just wish truckers would look into something other than just trucking. I'm not saying quit trucking, but think of other stuff that's not trucking related. Stuff that you can do while you're in the truck. I mean, it's simple to park a piece of equipment, for example, like a stump grinder, forestry mulcher. Park it at your nearest storage facility that's gated and has a code. And then when people rent it from you, they go punch the code in and get the equipment, use it and they bring it back, and they're charged for however many days they used it. And shoot, if they don't freaking bring it back, you file it on your freaking renter's insurance as stolen, and they pay for it. You wouldn't really want that to happen because eventually your insurance rates would go through the roof if that happened too many times. But I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff like that people can do. And I've even heard people telling me, I know a couple of truck drivers who claim that they have Turo cars. Well, they buy these cars, they rent them out on Turo. I don't know. I looked at the rates on Turo, and yeah, you get paid for every day that someone rents your car, but Turo takes a percentage too. And I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about Turo. I know people that they buy cars for around $4 or $5 and they rent them out to Uber drivers. I know people doing that, but that's mainly big in the cities like around Chicago and stuff. I don't know if it worked that well in every city. So I mean, just look at some stuff, figure out some stuff like that, something to fall back on. That's what I'm saying. Something to fall back on if something does ever happen to your truck driving job, or if you just get burned out at some point, Hey, if you guys have any other freaking suggestions, comment them below, man. I know Andrew Jackson, he's talking about going back to school, and I know he's done, he got into insurance at one point, became an insurance adjuster. I'm not sure if that's good or not. I don't know anything about that really. I tried insurance myself, and a lot of the insurance companies are just scamming you out of money for leads. They want you to pay you a lot of money for leads, and then you never make any sales. So whatever, So it's just a lot of them are scams. Anyway, so aside from that, try to protect your income any way you can, and have something to fall back on. But if you can get your credit straightened out, that'll help you a lot. All right. So if you have any other suggestions that people can do, I love hearing about this kind of stuff, though. Comment them below, and I appreciate you. Until next time, thanks for watching. Dread out.